Howdy, Connection Group leaders. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. And I stopped because I know it makes some of y'all nervous when I do this and drive. So I pulled over to the side of the road. I'm in between visits with students this afternoon. I got to have lunch with a young man. I'm fixing to go watch a baseball game. Then I get to go watch a soccer game. They're all three kids I don't normally get to hang out with a ton, which is super fun, and I'm excited about that. And I'm also today celebrating my Bekah's birthday. I won't tell you how old she is, although she's plenty young and all sorts of glorious. But if you think about it, shoot her a text message, tell you love her. She's not on social media anymore, but I'm awful proud of her. We're talking about gifts this week. You want to talk about gifts? Man, she is absolutely God's gift to me. And I believe with all my heart, she's one of God's gifts to Lake Church also. She's just an incredible servant and a wonderful human being. She's gorgeous, she's brilliant, she's fun, she's a baby whisperer. She's fantastic with our kids, she's great with your kids. And gosh, if you are somebody who is going through hell in life, she's the person you want sitting beside her. And a few of you have experienced that firsthand already. Yeah, she's phenomenal. If you think I'm even remotely great, I promise you, so much of that comes from the fact that I'm married to that girl, truly, and the stuff that God has taught me through her and shaped me through her. It really is a cool thing. So, bless my Bekah if you think about it. That all being said, again, we're talking about gifts today, and again, for the next several weeks. I love how 1 Corinthians chapter 12, gosh, specifically in verse 25 and 26, it mentions the fact that spiritual gifts are given to us not just for the sake of serving the body, although that's a big element of it, but it's actually part of God's process of making us unified, which is what Pastor Eric has been talking about on Sunday mornings for several weeks now. And we're not done because, man, we want to get this unification thing. But God uses our spiritual gifts and also our physical gifts to bring about unity. How does it go about doing it that? This is the section that says that we're supposed to rejoice with one another when we're rejoicing and mourn with one another when there's mourning. Well, how do we go about doing that? It's got to be more than just empathy. And the answer is yes, it's absolutely more than empathy. The way that can happen is if we're invested in one another's lives. That's when we get upset with things, right? That's the difference in, I don't care that the Cowboys lost. I'm not invested in Cowboys. And those of us that are actually fans, like it just hurts that the Cowboys lost, right? We're more invested in these things than others. I know that's a really silly example. When we're invested in people's lives, we can't help but care both when they're doing awesome and when they're doing horribly. So how do we invest in one another's lives? It's a matter of using not only our resources, but our gifts. Again, our spiritual gifts and our physical gifts. So part of what I want to encourage you to do, number one, is I'm going to send you a link in the email today, and it's to do our skills mapping survey. And guys, it takes 5, maybe 10 minutes. But what that is doing is we're actually we're beginning to collect data on people's gifts in their church. Again, both their spiritual gifts and their physical gifts. And we're making a database. And the reason why we're doing that, as you can imagine, in our church family, we come across people all the time that have needs. So they're trying to figure out how to go about doing various acts of service in our community. And if we had a better understanding of how people are truly gifted, it makes it so much easier for us to be able to help our people that are either in need or they're trying to advance the kingdom. But also, it helps us plug people in into serving, because sometimes there's people that want to do stuff for the kingdom and they just don't know where to plug in. And so this gifts mapping survey is going to help us with that tremendously. So let me talk to you about the people that I'm going to hang out with today. The young man that I got to have lunch with today, Ryan, super cool kid, really, really smart. But one of Ryan's gifts is he's just a great connector. He's so good at getting people hooked up with one another. He started a Bible study at his campus, and he's just garnering his friendships and getting them connected. Again, not just with himself. Ultimately, he's getting people connected with Jesus, but also he's just helping make friends in his school. It's a really, really cool thing. I'm going to go watch Joshua play baseball here in a couple minutes. Joshua was a fantastic baseball player, really good pitcher. I'm excited to see him pitch today. He's also just a really good servant, man. When you ask him to do something, he knows how to follow directions, and just, it's kind of like me, man. It's just good, and I want to say dumb muscle. I'm dumb muscle. Josh was not dumb, right? But he used his physical body to serve other people, and he does it with great joy. He loves to do that. Another young man I'm going to go watch soccer, Jonathan. He's a really good soccer player. Jonathan wrote a book when he was 12 years old. It's been published on Amazon. He's a really gifted writer, and he thinks incredibly creatively. It's so helpful. Many of you know Kate, our girls minister. If there's anything about our youth ministry that looks creative or looks fun or just looks really nice, man, that's all Kate. She is so creative and so gifted, especially when it comes to art. But she's youthful and she's vibrant and just thinks in ways that are really appealing to students. And so she's able to use that in our student ministry. We've got another guy on staff. Some of y'all know Dalton. We discovered recently Dalton's an incredible writer, and so he's helping us put together curriculum, not just little kids curriculum, although he works at Lionheart and it's great with kids. He's writing adult curriculum for us. It's phenomenal. I could go on and on with people in our church, people on my youth team that are so great. Both, again, their spiritual gifts that they get to exercise all the time, but the resources and the jobs they have. Gosh, Melvin built a fireplace for us that's going to help us do some really cool family ministry in our church. Melvin would just say he likes to play with rocks, and he does, but man, he uses his gifts of playing with rocks for the glory of God. We have a whole church full of people that God has gifted spiritually and physically. He's got doorways he wants to open for them spiritually, and doorways he's already opened for them physically, just in their real world, everyday jobs. And so we're putting together a database, and we're going to use that to connect people to use their gifts with other people that either have needs or they're trying to do something to advance the kingdom. And so I hope you'll take that link, fill it out yourself if you haven't yet, but shoot that to your class this week. Again, it takes 5-10 minutes. You'll eventually get that information, but then talk about it on Sunday morning with your class. It's something they can do on their phones really quickly. So you can even disperse it on Sunday morning, but talk about not only your spiritual gifts, but your physical gifts and the ways that we can invest in one another so that there would be no division at Lake Church. Guys, I love y'all. We'll talk to you soon. Happy birthday, darling. We'll see you later. Bye.